Hey guys, it's Laura, and I help people to step into the highest evolution of themselves. And with that being said, today's topic is about connecting with Yeshua or Jesus or Christ consciousness, whatever, float your boat. I work with the angels, and over a period of decades, I've had people here and there ask me to do readings or Akashic record readings, connecting with Jesus, or they felt like they had some type of bond, but I never got as close or in depth. I have had dreams where I have met Jesus and things of that nature. I saw things through the angel's eyes. I feel like I've seen stories, okay, of what they were showing me. Well, this has to do with my angels asking me within this past 2 years, you are confused about Jesus. You would like to know, what is it all about? Because I was raised Catholic and I also went to a Baptist church for a while. I went to a Lutheran church. I was an atheist for a while. I dabbled in everything, looking for answers. And when I finally went inside into my intuition, hooked up with my guardian angels and the divine forces, that's when over a period of time, they've been helping me heal from religious trauma. And so I do have a story about connecting with God, which I think I've talked about before, but this one is related to Jesus. I've had fears about connecting with Jesus, and they told me just meditate in the energy of Jesus outside of religious books or procedures or how you think you're supposed to connect. Okay. And I had a big surprise. I had a couple of instances where I felt like the Christ light energy come in and work on me. I feel like it's a realm of energy, like God is an energy and light. And I feel like Jesus' energy is too. But I started to meditate and then feel Jesus. I would ask Jesus, please help me to heal my relationship with you. I have been burned by a lot of people that have, I guess you could say, hypocrites. They're saying that they love Jesus, but Jesus was all unconditional love your brother, your sister, and yet we see all these things being used in the name of religion to harm, kill, or maim people for power and corruption. Okay, so I didn't want any part of that. But what I realized over the time of meditating, connecting with the energy of Jesus or Yeshua, all I felt was unity and unconditional love. And I started to hear Jesus talk to me and hear him like comforting me, soothing me, helping me to not judge people. Like I got a lot of, like I would be out somewhere and, like normally we always judge people based on whatever, okay, even silly reasons. Well, I was judging somebody based off of how their clothes or something. And then Jesus was like, does that really matter? Look at their character, look at who they are. Like I guess you could say, I'm not saying exactly what was said, but it was along those lines of getting me to look at everything, to be more open, to let go of judging everything around me. And even people from other belief systems, I asked, what is the right religion? Now, this is my own experience. Other people may have something else to say, okay? This is just what I'm sharing, okay? As I heard Jesus say, allow people to have what they believe in. It works for them. That's what they resonate in. So that's a very kind and gentle being that did not say to me, you're doing something wrong. This person's doing something wrong. You only have to believe this, that, or the other. He kind of came to me as like, how can I serve you versus believe in me and follow me, like what people are trained to do on earth. So that was awesome. Okay. And you guys know if you watch this channel, I do intuitive art for people. I'll do a reading, say what their angels, guide, spirit team, God want to say, and I'll do it as a drawing. Well, I have my handy dandy little sketchbook going, and a couple of these are stories of, what happened to me. Okay. I'm just going to briefly say it and then I'm going to describe it more and show my sketches. And remember, this is chicken scratch. I'm not trying to be all fancy and stuff. It's just I woke up in the morning, I meditated, and then I just doodled this. Okay. The first one is something that happens to me a lot with spirits, and that are drawn to me, and I can see other realms. And sometimes I'll have stuff come into my bedroom a lot. And something was really bothering me one night, and I asked Jesus to come in. Like, I started being more comfortable because I usually would ask the archangel, God, things of that nature. I started asking Jesus to please come in and look and see what's going on, to please, and he pulled something out from under the bed, and it was like this brown creature thing. Okay. There was another one where I told him I wasn't feeling well, that something was going on in my head, my crown area. And this one I don't have a drawing of, but he came and pulled some black thing. He reached down inside. I saw him come in, reach down inside, and pull like this black ball out from inside me. Where I asked, my angels, guides, Jesus, please watch over me at night. And then I saw like this panel. I think that was Jesus in the center. Okay. Another one is, so the other ones I'm going to describe in detail in a moment. The last one is in the movie theaters. I've said a lot of them on Psychic Stories that oftentimes movie theaters are places where a lot of people go and they sit for hours. It's like a garbage dump of energy. Okay? And usually I've worked with Archangel Michael and the angels, and I'll see them standing in the theater, or my guardian angels are in front of me, behind me, all that. And this, again, this was my experience growing, learning how to work with Jesus. And I said, Jesus, please come into the movie theater, please be with me. And then all of a sudden he was like 50 feet tall, and he filled the whole theater. And then I saw these little black creature stuff beings, and it was like he was throwing them around or something, or clearing the space or something. And I didn't feel like anything was messing with me during the whole time. Okay. I do have a side note on that. I have asked the angels to come into the theaters with me a lot. Archangel Michael and Uriel. Archangel Haniel came in the theater with me when I was watching Mufasa, and she put this energy of unconditional love, and that also works a lot in clearing spaces and rooms.